Please subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell icon.
In this video, you will learn about the table tag of HTML. To represent the information in the format of rows and columns, we need to use the table. HTML uses a table element to represent the data in tabular form. Table cells can contain the actual information, which can be text, image, or HTML elements such as table itself. The table enhances the readability of the presented data. Along with the presentation of data, the table along with its child elements are also used to create the layout of the web page. Creating web pages with tables, which is also called table-based design, is an old technique and is nowadays replaced with CSS-based table-less designs. The table tag defines an HTML table. Each table row is defined with a tr tag. Each table header is defined with ts tag. Each table data or cell is defined with td tag. By default, the text in ts elements are bold and centered, and the text in td elements are regular and left aligned. All of those tags are pair tags. Let's see some of the attributes of those tags. Align attribute can be used to set the alignment. When used in the table tag, it will set the alignment of the whole table as a block, not the content. An align attribute used on tr or td tag sets the alignment of the content. Border is an attribute of table tag and is used to put a border across all the cells. If you do not need a border, you don't need to use the border attribute, as default value for border is 0. Attributes cell padding and cell spacing are used to adjust the white space in your table cells. The cell spacing attribute defines space between table cells, while cell padding represents the distance between cell border and the content within a cell. You can set a table width and height using width and height attributes. You can specify table width or height in terms of pixels or in terms of percentage of available screen area. TD and TS tags can have two attributes, col span and row span. Col span and row span provide the same functionality as merge cell in spreadsheet programs like Excel. You need to use col span attribute if you want to merge two or more columns into a single column. It allows a single table cell to span the width of more than one cell or column. Similarly, row span attribute is used to merge the cells of two or more rows. It allows a single table cell to span the height of more than one cell or row. Consider a table as shown on the screen. It actually has 4 rows and 4 columns. But if you look at individual rows, you may feel different, as the first row has 2 columns, second has 3 columns, third has 4 columns, but its first column is same as the first column of second row. The fourth row has 4 columns, but its fourth column is same as the fourth column of third row. No matter how it looks, this table has 4 rows and 4 columns, but some columns in those rows are either merged with other columns of the same row or other columns of different rows. To create this table, we will start the table tag and set the border attribute to 1. In the first tr tag, we need to create 2 columns with td tags. First one is regular and next is span to 3 columns. Spanning is done with the col span attribute of td tag. In the second tr tag, we need to create 3 columns. First is span to 2 rows, second is span to 2 columns, and third is of regular size. In the third tr tag, we need to create 4 columns, but the first column is already created in the second row, so we will skip it in this row and directly go to the second column. The second and third columns are regular and the last is span to 2 rows. In the fourth tr tag, we need to create 4 columns. First, second and third are of the regular size and the last column is already created in the third row, so skip it too. An HTML table may also include other elements such as caption, t-head, t-foot, t-body, and col group. The HTML caption tag is used for creating captions for the table element. A caption element represents the title of the table. The caption element can be useful to give short information about the data the table is holding. This is often true when the data contains nothing but numbers or a series of letters or symbols. The caption element allows us to provide a context for the data in the table. Although the caption tag is located inside the table tag, browsers display the caption outside the table. You can also use p tag to create paragraph within the caption element, as well as other formatting tags as required. You can use the t-body, t-head, and t-foot tags to group table rows and to add a table header or footer or both. The HTML t-body tag is used for grouping table rows. Specifically, it represents a block of rows that consist of the actual data of the table element. The t-body tag can be used with the t-head tag and the t-foot tag in determining each part of the table, that are header, footer and body. Browsers can use this information to enable scrolling of the table body independently of the header and footer, that is useful for large tables. When printing a large table that spans multiple pages, this information can enable the table header and footer to be printed at the top and bottom of each page. The t-body tag is a pair tag and it holds the table rows which contain the actual data of the table. The t-body element can only be used as a child of table element after any caption, call group and t-head elements. The HTML t-head tag represents the headers within an HTML table. This is the block of rows that consists of the column labels for the parent table element. The t-head tag can be used with the t-body tag and the t-foot tag in determining each part of the table, such as header, footer or body. Browsers can use this information to enable scrolling of the table body independently of the header and footer, particularly useful for large tables. When printing a large table that spans multiple pages, this information can enable the table header and footer to be printed at the top and bottom of each page. The t-head tag is a pair tag and holds the header row of the table. The t-head tag can contain 0 or more tr elements. The HTML t-foot tag represents the footers within an HTML table. This is the block of rows that consist of the column summaries for the parent table element. The t-foot tag is a pair tag and it holds the footer row of the table. The t-foot tag can contain 0 or more tr elements. The HTML call group tag represents a group of one or more columns within a table for formatting. It can be used to apply styles across one or more entire columns. This can be useful because it eliminates the need to apply the styles at the individual td levels for each row. The call group tag must be used as a child of table element after any caption elements and before any t-head, t-body, t-foot and tr elements. The call group element accepts the attribute named span and it specifies how many columns to span. This attribute should not be used if there are any call elements within the call group tag. This attribute's value must be a valid non-negative integer greater than 0. If you need to apply different properties to a column within a call group, you can use the call tag within the call group tag. The call tag can be useful if you need to specify styles across one or more columns. Rather than applying the styles at individual td level, you can apply it to the call element. Then all td and th elements contained within that call will be styled accordingly. The call tag is a single tag. You can use the span attribute in call tag to specify the number of columns to span. The tag is used within a call group tag which does not have a span attribute. The call element accepts the attribute named span and it specifies how many columns to span. The attribute's value must be a valid non-negative integer greater than 0. After learning about various elements associated with table tag, let's discuss about table-based design. Creating a website layout is the activity of positioning the various elements that make a web page in a well-structured manner and give an appealing look to the website. The web page layout can be created with various techniques. Using tables and its corresponding tags to design a page layout is one classical approach which is not widely used these days, yet it will help to understand how contents can be managed horizontally and vertically. Using the elements associated with tables to format a website is known as table-based design. Table provides the simplest way for creating layouts in HTML. Generally, it involves the process of putting the content such as text, images and so on into rows and columns. To cover the screen size with the web page, width and height attributes are used. Generally, the border of the table is set to 0 so that the web layout looks better. The layout shown on the screen is a table-based design with 4 rows and 2 columns. The first and last row merges both columns using the call span attribute, making full width header and footer. Similarly, the first cell of the second and third row is merged with row span attribute, making it look like a sidebar. Table-based design is not recommended for page layouts because they are slow to render, as the browser needs to download the entire HTML code of the table to render it properly. They will be hard to maintain and redesign and are not flexible as CSS-based designs. Using tables into a responsive layout is very difficult to control, so it decreases the accessibility of the website. The user can have devices with various screen sizes, but table layout is usually fixed. Similarly, table-based design is not good for search engine optimization, and it lowers the website's ranking and position in search results. So, use a table for displaying tabular data, not to design the overall web page layout. I will discuss the table-less design after learning non-semantic and semantic tags of HTML and CSS. I hope you have understood various tags related to tables, and in the coming up video I will discuss HTML form and its components. In case of any queries, please write them in the comments. See you.